Welcome to Life Heal, the future of holistic practice. So this podcast series is for holistic and complementary therapists and health coaches who are ready to evolve with the changing world of health and well-being. It is for you if you are out there trying to live your dream job and your dream purpose and are feeling that a bit disillusioned and a bit lost, and feeling that perhaps whatever you've trained in and the stuff that you're doing out there is a little bit out of date, or that you are not quite hitting the mark and it's not the idyllic life that you hoped it would be. Perhaps you feel that you're not reaching people, you don't know how to reach people. Perhaps you've got your own treatment room and you're sitting there day after day and there's no clients coming in. This podcast is for you if that is the case. So I'm Sam, integrative health coach, therapist and co-founder of Life Heal, and this series explores how integrative health, lifestyle medicine, social prescribing, digital health and multi-modality therapies are redefining what it means for holistic care and complementary therapies. Each episode is going to blend grounded insight, real-world strategies which can help you align with your own purpose and really find your position in modern healthcare and how you fit with this new healthcare that's coming in. And we're looking forward to spending time with you. If you're ready to dive in and explore the future of holistic practice, then hopefully we can keep you inspired, informed and aligned as the landscape of health continues to evolve. Welcome back, and excuse the noise today, we're out and about and I'm in the car. So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody for listening to this podcast, and I've been on a bit of a mission to get to at least 10 episodes because apparently of all the podcasts in the world, nobody gets past 10 easily, and there's only a small percentage of podcasts that do. So I'm on a little mission, and I'm really hoping that this is a resource for therapists. I've had some amazing feedback and lots of personal messages saying, yes, this is what I've been waiting for, or I'm totally on board, I think the same. So keep the comments coming. It's really encouraging me to keep going. So I'm absolutely loving doing it, and really, really exciting to get to know you all as well. I've had, as I said previously, we've had a massive response to the invitation for guest speakers, and incredible what people are doing. So really excited. This episode today, following on from our last one, which was about change and, how you can change. And what I wanted to just focus on today, I've just had a conversation with somebody about their business, and they have taken the plunge and set up a holistic practice. They've spent thousands on training and a lot of blood, sweat and tears, a lot of thought, renting rooms, places, and finally taken the plunge and got their own room, which means they've got overheads now, and they've had to kit it out, and super exciting. But now the clients, where do the clients come from? And how do they make their offering stand out from everybody else's? So I've had a whole conversation, and I've been coaching this person for over a year now, and I've been real part of their journey, and it's been incredible and an honour to be part of somebody that's being so brave as to actually get out there and do that. It's incredible. But this is the flashpoint. This is the bit where you've done all the work, you've spent the money, you've got the room, and you're sitting there going, right, what now? How do I get people from outside into this room so I can do what I'm trained and I'm passionate about and what I'm trained to do? So my answer, and the conversation that we had, which was really lovely, was on how can you make what you do different from everybody else. Yes, your treatment menu says you do massage, Indian head, Reiki, life coaching. You've got a whole list of things that you're passionate about. And how can you make the journey for the client different? And that's where it starts, really, because if you start creating a journey rather than a treatment, you create an experience, you create a how are you going to feel, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to start talking like that. I create journeys for people. You will feel this way when you come here, and you will leave this way when you come here. And we talked back and forward about lots of tips and things that they could do to really start implementing, and pretty inexpensively. And if you maybe do some of these things already, then go you, that's great, that's fantastic. But the chances are you probably don't tell people before they come that that's what's going to happen. Now, we're all for under promise, over deliver, but sometimes you need to share what it is that you are going to do when the person comes. So, for instance, the chat we had today, we have left that conversation, and she has committed to going and designing a client journey, a client pathway. Now, we spoke before about the consultation process. That is already part of what they do. But they're going to make sure that they tell people, yes, you're going to book for an hour with me. I would like you to allow a couple of hours. And the reason for that is I like to, when you come in, you will have, we'll do an in-depth consultation. You will be given a lovely herbal tea, and the herbal tea of the season is, we're in the winter at the moment, coming up to winter. So it is winter. So something, winter and warming and lovely like that. A lovely hot mitt rolled up and with a couple of drops of an essential oil on it. And that's given to them just to relax them. Obviously, we know as therapists that the sense of smell will, those oils will start to work within 7 minutes before you even put your hands on them. So that's a lovely little touch. Your consultation process, get them comfortable in a chair. Don't just sit on the bed and then look down on them. Make sure you're face to face with them. And there's a nice table. Maybe you might need a box of tissues. People are going to start talking about their health issues and previous stuff. It could be, rather than tea, you have some nice cucumber water or something like that. But really think of every single piece of that little process. What pen are you going to use? What clipboard, or how are you going to present the form to them? What tea are you going to use? What cup? Are you going to pour the tea for them? That noise of pouring tea is so ritualistic. It's so relaxing. And then say, I got this tea when I was in Glastonbury, or when I was in such and such at this farmer's market, and I had it and it was just incredible, and it's made by this lady that lives down the road from me. There's a story behind it, and it's something that is passionate for you and to you. And the reason I picked this tea is because it's full of antioxidants, and I really feel that after a chat on the phone or a messenger that you could really do with that today. So can you see the difference between that and the old generic spa idea or therapist idea, where they're in reception, there's your form, lucky if you get a glass of water, come through, so what are you in for today? You've got sore pains, right, well today I'm going to ignore that, I'm just going to do the back, neck and shoulder massage because that's what you've paid for. Get on the bed, and then yes, the treatment's lovely, but there's such a missed opportunity there. So take a moment and just think, where am I, how am I going to do that part of the process? Am I going to, so what I do is I do all of that, hot tea, hot mitt, obviously take their coat and stuff, and that's hung up. Some people like to pop that on a radiator just to keep it nice and toasty. That's a really nice touch, depending where you are. If you're in Spain, you won't need that. But for those of you in Britain and Scotland in particular, then you're going to need that. Then what I do is I will get them to fill out the generic form. So I have the signature and the date, and I have the medication, and I have all that stuff. So I've got the insurance thing sorted. But I also then take that off, I turn it over, and then I have it designed. So there's a picture of a body, and I have all my questions, and I just start taking a health timeline. And that goes all the way back to birth, if I can. And before, because I want to know how their mother was. I just take my time, and I just ask questions, and I use my intuition to do that, but I've also got my form. And I do the writing for that because it's a bit scribbly. And I let them just sup their tea and enjoy that. And I will really take my time getting to know them. I'm reading them, I'm watching their language, I'm just tuning into their fascia system. I'm really trying to figure out what they're not saying, what they are saying. Is there a bit of emotion there? Are they closed down? Is there a wall there? Like, you're all healers and therapists. You know how to do this. You may not be confident in doing it, but you all know how to do it. And we will go over that in future episodes. So that's the first part of the journey. And then the next part is, if you're going to be doing massage or reflexology or even coaching, it doesn't matter what you're doing, how are you going to make the next part different? So let's just suppose that it is a hands-on therapy. And if you are a coach or talking therapy or any other therapies, maybe, soul fragmentation or anything like that, where you're not doing hands-on, then, or, even if it's Reiki, where people aren't derobing, if you like, then there's elements of this that might just be a jumping off point to give you a few ideas. So the next thing is that we would always explain the treatment. This is what I'm going to do today. I use an integrative approach. Based on your consultation form, I'm going to use this oil. I'm going to ask you to lie down on your front, because I'd like to address your back issue first off, and then I'll possibly do your feet, and I'm going to just be doing this in an intuitive way. So even though you have booked an hour with me today, what I would like to do is work on all your energy bodies, so your spiritual, your emotional, your mental, your physical body. I'm going to work on all of them in different ways. So I'd like you to pop your clothes over there and get on the bed, face down. You'll notice that I've got a heated blanket on. If it gets too hot, just let me know. And then also I'll be bringing an inhalation bowl that's got beautiful essential oils that I got in Glastonbury. They're made by Star Child or Purely or whoever. And these are specifically picked for you based on what you've said in your consultation. And then I explain about the oils, and you can see where I'm going with this. I'm creating a journey that feels very tailored. And even as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, I want to go and have that. And the fact you're saying it's based on their consultation, we're not just one size fits all. We're really taking our time and really addressing their issues, their concerns, and really using our expertise to try and make this experience and this a lovely journey for them. So I even go as far as I have a playlist available, and the playlist has different mantras on it. Those mantras are all recorded at different hertz, and they do different things in the body. So I'm really sort of thinking, right, what sound do they need? What's it going to do? I've got one for anxiety, and I'm going to pop that on in the background. I'm going to use this oil that's for anxiety and stress. Okay, and the tea afterwards, that's going to be maybe chamomile or something lovely, and that's going to be nice and relaxing. Now, what body oil am I going to use? Am I going to use hot stones? Am I going to use crystals? What crystals will be great for this? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm using everything. So many people think, right, I'm going to train in hot stones, I'm going to train in massage, I've got this oil, I've got this face oil, they're all for different treatments. Absolutely not. That's a whole toolkit. Pick out one hot stone, have them on all the time if that's what you do. And even if you're not comfortable doing the whole hot stone treatment, I know some people aren't, there's nothing wrong with just picking up one. One hot stone is equivalent to 10 strokes of the human hand. So not only is it going to help you as a therapist, it's super, super soothing. It gets into the real depths of those muscles. And everybody knows that when you go to a spa, hot stones is more expensive because obviously there's apparatus, there's electricity and heat and stuff involved. So it is more expensive to do. Not much, but it is a little bit more. But for you to actually just pick that up and offer that free, we're back to that under promise, over deliver. And they will be like, oh wow, she's really found that knot in my back, and she's really taking the time to address that by using a hot stone. That's just lovely. Or cold therapy, that's the other thing you can do as well. So make a list of what you've got in your treatment room or in your business. What is it that you have? I think the further on we go with our businesses and our practices, we can just keep buying equipment I had an oxygen machine, an infrared lamp machine. We had ozone therapy machines. I've got a detox foot bath machine. And I would be like, oh, are people going to book in for a detox foot bath? Well, no, they're not, because they don't know what that is. But I know by doing their consultation that if they've never done a parasite cleanse and they eat raw meat or, sushi or whatever, then there's a high chance they're going to need a parasite cleanse, particularly if they're showing symptoms of that. So I know that a detox foot bath is going to help with that. I know that Rife and sound frequencies are going to help with that. So I use everything. I may use the infrared lamp on, just say that their stomach, they may have IBS and Crohn's. I'll pop castor oil on in their belly button and I'll leave that, and then I may put the infrared lamp on another part of their body, and then I will be putting certain oils on their feet, and I might be doing a different oil on a different part of their body, and I really mix modality-ing their experience. Now, this is why you can see that you will have unpaid hours here. You've been paid for an hour, but you're actually giving 2 hours, if you like. You don't always need to take as long. Remember what I said about the consultation. You don't need to do that every time. But if you can afford the time, because you're quiet at the moment, give more. Give as much as you can, for as long as you can, and make it absolutely incredible. Your towels should be fluffy and warm. The room should be warm. Every single detail should be thought about. In the last episode, Eric and I spoke about change and how to make things your own rather than copying other people, and how she actually came up with a really, really interesting point, which was to get inspiration, go and look in industries, out with your industry. And when we were out on Saturday, we have heard through word of mouth, because this person doesn't advertise apart from on Instagram, about this burger place near us in Wells called Stacked. If you want to look it up, it's STKD. It's the most incredible burger we've ever had. And Erica was a food blogger for many, many years and still has a food blog. So she knows her burgers. And we went there, and this person has got a food van, but they've also then made this outdoor covered play thing. There's seats. There's a vending machine now this isn't sounding great, but bear with me. There's a vending machine for drinks. It's at the back of a car park. I mean, you just literally are wondering who came up with this business plan. Well, I'm going to put this in a car park. But it is incredible. And the reason it's incredible, you can feel the passion. Every single thing that they do, down to the sauce on the burger, the way they're doing the burgers, the bun, the seats, the vending machine, it's immaculate. Every single thing is perfect and thought about. You can see they've gone not for, I'm going to do everything, because you could do chicken burgers, you could do this, you could do that. And they've not. They're doing one burger and chips. And that's all, and that's incredible. And they make sure that they do it, and the whole journey is incredible. And do you see what I mean? Do you see where I'm going with this? That this is what you can do, and emulate that. What can I do in my business to make sure that every single detail, like, am I just buying teas from the local supermarket? Could I just invest in one really, really good tea, loose leaf tea in a lovely little teapot? These things aren't expensive. And a tiny little tray. You can get these little trays on Temu and little wooden things, and they look really spa-ish and lovely. And there's lots and lots of things you can do to make your treatment incredible. So that's the actual journey. But the journey doesn't stop there. When you're finished your treatment, we don't just chuck people out. We don't just say, right, just get your clothes on, I'll be back in a minute, there's your water, and I'll see you at reception, hopefully trying to sell your products or whatever. We absolutely don't do that. They have another, either water or tea, whatever you've not had at the beginning, and let them sit, and we have a chat, and I say, how are you feeling? Any questions? This is what came up. this is what I would like you to do. I've got a little social prescription here for you, little prescription card on here. That's just 3 suggestions that based on your consultation, don't overwhelm you. But today I suggest, about this, this and this. And what I will do is I will check in with you in a couple of days just to see how you are. But you may feel a little bit like there's a little bit of a healing crisis happening, because we have released quite a lot today, and it's called a Herxheimer's reaction. It's perfectly normal, but if you feel the symptoms of that are a little bit overwhelming, drop me a message. Please don't be afraid to drop me a message. I will check in with you, as I say, anyway, and we check in with everybody, especially if they've had what we would call a fascia unwinding or there's emotions coming up. We don't just leave people and let them go out in the street. And I let them sit for maybe 10, 15 minutes or as long as they want to, and just have their tea and just sit in the music and just reflect on their treatment. So as you can see, that's a whole journey. And when they leave, the journey continues, because I will be messaging them and just double checking how you're getting on with your little bits and pieces that I gave you for your social prescribing, like your prescription. So it's a journey. And this is the whole thing, you don't need loads and loads and loads of clients. You just need to look after the ones that you've got and do an incredible job with them. And look after them like they're, that you're part of their family kind of thing. You're as if you would yourself. How would you want to be treated in these places? Think about a time when you've gone to a spa or for a treatment or perhaps life coaching. Was it too bright? Was it too cold? Were the towels not fluffy? Was the bed hard? Think about the bits that this is what's great for going to other places, because you learn the things you don't want. And then fix things if your bed's hard, go and buy a memory foam that cut out. You can buy them on Temu, or you can buy them on Amazon. You can buy bed covers. Make sure your bed looks amazing. Your lighting is right. The smells are right. Take your time and really try and lift and elevate what you're offering. And people notice, because going back to the burger place, it's the attention to detail. Because we live in a consumerism society where we get our food from supermarkets, it's a lot of restaurant chains. Clothes are bought from chains. That high street thing and that personal cottagecore business is really has been dissipating, but it is coming back. Somerset is where we live is crazy for this. There's markets all the time. We went to Wells Christmas market the other day and we bought soap. We overpaid for it, but we made a decision at the start of the year that we were going to keep a little bit of money back, and if we could afford to not do Amazon Prime, even though it's £2 cheaper or whatever for a book, we were going to have that experience and be part of the experience for the local bookseller in Wells or Glastonbury, wherever we go and get our books, where we can. And we do that often. We always say we'll go to the market first. If we can't get it there, then fair enough. And it supports people locally. And I had a client today and we were chatting. She goes on a cruise every Christmas. And I said, do you go to the spas on the cruise ship? And she said, no, I don't at all. I liked, because it's so much money, I keep the money back and there's a place I go locally and I really like to support locally. And I was like, wow, that's fantastic. Brilliant. So there are people out there that want to give you their money. They want to be a stakeholder in what you're doing. And if you make them feel $1 million and you make them feel nurtured and cared for and like they've just had the most incredible experience with you, they will come back and they will tell other people. And that is how to grow your practice and how to make it different. So integrative practice, apart from all the therapy side, starts with every single detail, everything. How are you going to communicate with them? How are they going to feel in and out of the treatment room? How are you going to communicate them with online? Are you going to message them? Are you going to use the phone? Are you going to use email or WhatsApp? Or what is the journey for them? Take your time and think about every single aspect of it. And I'll be very surprised if that doesn't massively change how people are with you, how they interact with your business and how you make them feel. So I'd love to know your thoughts about this. I'd love to know if you're doing aspects of this, or even if you've got any ideas that you do as well. Obviously, we've only had 20 odd minutes here, so we can't share everything. But if you have got things that you do that you think, wow, that's been a game changer for my practice and what I do, then please share, because at the end of the day, the big purpose is to help people and to serve and to heal and offer therapies or modalities. And the main reason for that is because people need that, because the NHS or healthcare system, if you're out with the UK, they're oversaturated. So we have a place on this crazy journey that we're all on, this paradigm shift. We have a place, and we need to make sure that we create our own practice, our own boundaries, and that we are super, super comfortable that we are offering something incredible. So I shall speak to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening, as always, and I'll speak to you soon. Just a quick one before we go. If you have enjoyed this podcast, you'd like to connect with Erica and myself and be part of our community, Life Heal. We're on Instagram and on Facebook as the Life Heal Journey. We've also got a website where you can find lots of free resources, blog posts and things like that. You're more than welcome to look us up. It's www.lifehealjourney.com. We have a Facebook group with over 1,000 people in it and beautiful souls, and you're welcome to come in and have a look around and chat to people. That is Life Heal Lifestyle. And then finally, if you want to deep dive a bit more thoroughly, then we have lifehealuniversity.com, and that is our online platform, and it's a subscription platform. It's £27 a month, and you get lots of different courses, meditations, there's a book club, and it's just a little bit more serious than the Facebook group. So you're welcome to reach out to us in any way you like. There is a contact section on our website, so if you've got any questions, we love to connect with people. So feel free to message us, give us a shout with your story, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.